Paris, the city of lights, became the city of football history on Monday night. In front of a star-studded audience, PSG's very own Ousmane Dembele finally reached the summit of world football, crowned Ballon d'Or winner 2025, presented by none other than the Brazilian legend Ronaldinho himself. Glowing star. 4 years, Dembele was the what could have been story of football. Brilliant at Dortmund, inconsistent at Barcelona, constantly battling injuries and doubts. But last season, something clicked. The Frenchman put it all together and delivered one of the greatest individual campaigns modern football has seen. A campaign strong enough to beat the likes of Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, and Mohamed Salah to football's most prestigious prize. How did Dembele turn his career around? The French winger had the season of his life with PSG, registering 35 goals and 16 assists across all competitions. He wasn't just scoring, he was decisive, unstoppable, and finally consistent. His performances drove PSG to an unforgettable treble-winning season. Trophy League 1 champions, Trophy Coupe de France winners, Trophy Champions League glory, beating Inter Milan 5-0 in the final. Trophy plus the Trophy de Champions and the UEFA Super Cup. Yes, PSG cleaned up, and Dembele was at the heart of it all. In League 1, he finished as joint top scorer with 21 goals in 29 games. In the Champions League, he was named Player of the Season, scoring 8 goals and adding 6 assists, including 2 crucial assists in the final. That's world-class output on the biggest stage that, of course, Dembele wasn't the only star in the running. Lamine Yamal, the Barcelona teenager, was simply sensational. At just 18, he scored 21 goals and delivered 26 assists, inspiring Barca to a domestic treble. His dazzling play earned him the Copa Trophy for Best Young Player. Many tipped him as the future, but the Ballon d'Or came a little too soon. Raphinha, another Barcelona standout, who bagged 18 goals and was named La Liga's Player of the Season. He finished third in the voting, a deserved recognition of his evolution into a reliable match winner. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool's talisman, once again proved his class, guiding the Reds to another Premier League title. Salah won his 3rd PFA Player of the Year award and the Premier League Player of the Season crown. But despite his dominance in England, the European stage belonged to Dembele. Each had a strong case, but when you compare impact, trophies, and big game moments, Dembele's campaign just stood above the rest. The Ballon d'Or ceremony itself had a little drama. Because of French league rules, PSG had a rescheduled Ligue 1 clash with Marseille on the same night. Most of Dembele's teammates couldn't attend. They were losing 1-0 at the Velodrome while he was walking the red carpet in Paris. But ironically, Dembele wasn't part of that game anyway. Nursing an injury, he was free to attend. And so he stood on stage, smiling, holding football's ultimate individual prize in his hands. A moment that felt like destiny. For fans who followed Dembele since his early days, this win is about more than just numbers. It's about fulfilling potential. Back in 2016-17 at Borussia Dortmund, he was the golden boy of Europe, a winger with frightening pace, dazzling skills, and an eye for the spectacular. Barcelona paid big money for him, hoping he'd be the next great superstar. Instead, injuries, inconsistency, and pressure made him one of the most frustrating players in world football. 6 years at Barca left many doubting he would ever make the leap. Some even labeled him a wasted talent. But in Paris, under Luis Enrique, something changed. He matured, he became the leader PSG needed, and he silenced the critics once and for all. At 28 years old, Dembele has finally become the superstar he was always tipped to be. His win also sends a message to world football. We may be entering a new era. For years, the Ballon d'Or was dominated by Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. In recent years, it's been players like Benzema, Haaland, and Messi again. Now it's Dembele's turn, and it feels like the start of a new wave. And let's not forget, PSG have never had a Ballon d'Or winner until now. Neymar never managed it, Mbappe hasn't either. Dembele has done what those stars could not. That alone cements his name in history, that it wasn't just Dembele making headlines in Paris. On the women's side, Aitana Bonmati claimed her 3rd consecutive Ballon d'Or feminine, cementing her place as the undisputed best player in the women's game. Barcelona's dominance in Europe continues, and Bonmati is its shining star. So, what comes next for Dembele? First, he'll want to recover from his injury and return to firing for PSG. The French Giants will need him as they look to defend their titles and challenge for another Champions League run. Second, the 2028 Euros qualifiers loom large. France will need a fully fit Dembele if they are to dominate the international stage. He already has a World Cup winner's medal, but now, he'll want to add more international glory to his name. And finally, the challenge will be consistency. Can he back this up with another world-class season? Can he dominate year after year, like Messi, Ronaldo, or Lewandowski did? That's the real test of greatness. When Ousmane Dembele held the Ballon d'Or aloft, it wasn't just the story of a great season. It was the story of resilience, redemption, and finally delivering on a promise made nearly a decade ago. Once the nearly man of football, he's now officially the best player in the world.